welcome back to the podcast. The NFL schedule is officially out, and we're kind of cruising through the off season, getting closer and closer to the season.
Again, nothing's going on other than take a look at the schedule.
So what we're gonna do is before this episode, we looked at all the schedules, and we predicted each.
No, these are not predictions.
Facts.
No. These are, we just quickly went through each team and their schedule and made
an assumption.
An initial hypothesis about where they would fall this year. Not predict. We need one of those boop, 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 boop. It says, warning, this is not a prediction. Predictions will come later.
That's our title.
In the fall.
Warning, not predictions.
Possibly.
Okay, so we gave our hypothesis on every team's record.
Yeah, the schedule was interesting this year.
It feels weird.
There's a lot of really bad teams.
Yes.
So, well, one, I don't even know if you know how the schedule works. It's a convoluted mess. So they rotate divisions. So you obviously play everyone in your own division twice, home and away.
Yeah.
And then they pick somebody, like in the AFC, they'll pick another division and you play all those teams once. And then they pick a team in the NFC and you play everyone in that division once. And then they rotate those divisions on a yearly basis. So like this year, AFC East is playing the AFC North and then the NFC North. So there's a couple teams that have really easy schedules, but those teams aren't good either. So, for example, like a Detroit plays Washington, they play Chicago twice, they play the Giants, they play Jacksonville, they play the Jets, they play Carolina. That is the easiest schedule in the world. But they're Detroit. So do they win any of those games? Who knows?
But I think that's a good place to start. We're going to compare our hypothesis.
All right, let's do it.
On every team. So let's actually start off.
We're going to do every team?
We can. But I think a good team to start off with is the Lions. What do you have? What is your hypothesis on their record?
Well, keep in mind that schedule I just gave you.
Yes.
That's any other team in the league. That's almost 6 guaranteed wins. I have the Lions going 5-12.
I have the Lions going 3-14.
No, they'll be better this year.
I'm not saying they're gonna be worse. I'm not saying they're gonna be better. It's the Lions, though.
That's right. They're not good by any means. They don't have a quarterback, Jared Goff. But the schedule I just read you, they have to win half of those games, right? So that's like 3 guaranteed wins. And
exactly. I had 3 for 14.
Okay. Well, let's just start with the AFC East and work our way down.
Okay. So, Patriots. I think that's
Well, the Bills are going to win that division.
Well, we all know that.
11-6. That's what I have.
The Bills?
Yeah.
I have them 14-3.
Good.
Listen, they after last year in the playoffs are probably very mad.
I mean, they play at the Rams, they play Tennessee, they play at Baltimore, they play at Kansas City, they play Green Bay, they play obviously at New England and at Cincinnati. I mean, that's a tough schedule.
That's probably one of the harder.
I mean, they could be 13-3, like you said, but that's a pretty tough schedule. I think they go 11-6 and they run away with the East. I think the Patriots bad 7-10.
I have them 6-11. Yeah.
Dolphins 9-8.
I have them 12-5.
What?
Okay, but I'm on the hype train because I like the Dolphins a lot. So
hold on.
Listen.
12-5.
Yes.
They play. I'm not going to name all their games, but they play at Baltimore. They play Buffalo twice. They play at Cincinnati. They play Cleveland, which who knows what Cleveland's going to be. They play at San Francisco. They play at the Chargers. They play Green Bay. That's a tough schedule, man.
Listen, it's not really factual. It's more of it's what I want.
I would not.
I have high hopes.
I would not place that wager in Vegas that the Dolphins are going to go 12-5.
And I mean, the Jets, they're the Jets. So, 4-13.
That's exactly what I have.
They're not. I mean, you did have a good draft, but you're still not going to be any better.
Like I said in the last podcast, good draft. They'll be a better team, but they're not going to win many more games. All right, what about the AFC North?
I have the Bengals going 11-6. I don't think they can do what they did last year again.
I agree with you. I have them 10-7.
I don't see it happening.
I have the Ravens 12-5.
I have the Ravens 10-7.
Okay. And then I have the Browns 9-8, but
that is exactly what I have them.
The Browns are a complete unknown at this point in time because
we don't know if Deshaun Watson will play.
If Deshaun Watson plays, I will increase that win total. If Deshaun Watson does not play, I will decrease that win total. Right now, no clue what's going to happen with the Browns.
No, I put them at 9-8 as well.
And by chance Baker Mayfield stays and plays, I give him like 4 wins.
Yeah. So the Steelers gonna probably be bad. I gave them 6-11.
I have 5-12.
I didn't give them that bad, but I don't think they could do any better.
Not with their quarterback situation. And that's a tough one on Pittsburgh. They are good every year. I think they've had I could be wrong on this. We may have to look this up. We'll have to do some fact checks. They've either had a 500 or better season for like a lot of years in a row.
Yes.
I think. And so saying 5-12 is kind of gross, but I don't see many wins on that schedule.
I don't either. Let's move to one of the big leagues of the NFL, the AFC West. Those are some good teams.
Those are really good teams. They're just going to beat each other up. I have the San Diego Chargers. I'm going to call them the San Diego Chargers. 12-5.
I have them going 13-4.
Ooh.
Man, that team is going to be...
That team is going to be good. That defense is going to be better. And then I have the other 3 teams, like... I have the Chiefs 10-7, the Raiders 10-7, and the Broncos 9-8. The Chiefs have a tough schedule, a real tough schedule,
yeah.
And they're gonna, I think, come back to earth a little bit. I mean, if you just look at the Chiefs' schedule, at Arizona, obviously the Chargers twice, at Indy, at Tampa, Buffalo, at San Francisco, Tennessee, at Cincinnati. And that's a really, really tough schedule.
I have the Chiefs 10-7, Raiders 8-9, and Broncos 11-6.
11-6 for the Broncos?
Yes. That defense, it looks pretty good. And now with Russell Wilson, you actually have a quarterback that can throw the ball.
I mean, I'm looking at their schedule. It's you could be right. It's not that tough of a schedule. I mean, they play Seattle twice. Seattle's no good. They play Houston. They play the Jets. They play Jacksonville. They play Carolina. So, yeah, there's definitely some winnable games on that schedule. What did you say, 13-4?
I said 11-6.
Oh, 11-6. It's possible. It's absolutely possible with that schedule.
Now let's go to the bad teams, which is Jaguars, Texans, Titans, Colts.
I think the Colts are absolutely going to run away with that division with Matt Ryan there now. I have them at 11-6.
I have them at 10-7.
Okay. And then I have the Titans at 9-8.
I have the Titans at 9-8.
And then the Texans and Jags. Like 4 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins maybe for both of them.
No, I have the Texans at 3-14, and I have the Jaguars at 1-16.
1-16.
Yes.
You don't think they can win more than one game?
No.
Okay, look. At Washington.
Loss.
Then they play Indianapolis, that's a loss. The Chargers, Philly, Houston.
Yeah.
Is that their one?
Yeah. They get 1 out of the 2.
And then they play Indy again. Then they play the Giants. And then Denver and the Raiders and Kansas City and Baltimore. And then they play Detroit. And then they play the Jets. And then they play Houston. They're going to get more than 1 win.
I give them max 3.
Okay.
I give them max
that's
3.
fair.
3 wins.
All right, so that's the AFC.
NFC, we kind of left the Lions off on. Or the AFC, or NFC North.
Yeah, we'll
just kind of left it.
Well, we'll go to the NFC North.
Lions, I already said, 3-14.
I have 5-12.
Okay. Packers, 11-6.
This one hurts me. Only because I don't think they can do it again. But I have 13-4. I've said it 5 times now. Without Devontae Adams, they're going to be a worse team. Aaron Rodgers is getting old. I think their defense will be better, but their schedule again. I mean, Minnesota twice, Chicago twice, Detroit twice. Then they play they also have the Giants and Jets and Miami. So, yeah, I mean, I think they play at Tampa, which is, I think, is a loss. They play at Buffalo, which is a loss. They play Dallas, which that's a coin flip. They play the Rams, which is probably a loss. But I don't see a lot of losses on that schedule.
I don't think they have a hard schedule. It just doesn't.
And that's why I said 13-4. I don't think they're going to do that, but just, again, an initial look at the schedule, that's what I have. I have the Vikings 7-10.
I have the Vikings 9-8.
9-8. That's doable.
And what I said for the Bears, what I said to you is, because I was sitting next to you when I was doing this, I said I'm gonna be generous to the Bears. I'm gonna give them 2-15.
They'll win more. I have 4-13 for the Bears.
No, I'm being generous. 2-15.
And it's sad too because, again, Justin Fields has 0 hope there, and their schedule is not difficult at all. But I agree with you. If they get, 4 or 5 wins, I'll be shocked. All right, what about the East?
I have Cowboys 10-7.
I also have 10-7.
Giants, I have 2-15.
I have 4-13.
Commanders, I have 5-12. I don't think the Commanders win a lot this year.
I also have 5-12.
Yeah. Eagles 8-9.
I have 11-6 for the Eagles. I have them
Really?
winning the East. Yep.
Why?
Jalen Hurts is a concern for me, but again, just by looking at the schedule, it's not a tough schedule. Detroit, Washington twice, Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, Houston, Chicago, and I believe the Jets are on there too. Not a tough schedule. If Jalen Hurts is average, I think they win that division.
Okay, so West.
I have the Rams at 11-6.
Really? I have them 14-3. Why 11-6? Their team hasn't changed that much.
Super Bowl hangover happens every single year.
But 11-6?
Yep, that's a good record.
That's a good record.
There's absolutely nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that record, but
11-6.
I just don't see it.
I have the Niners at 10-7.
I have them at 9-8.
I have the Cardinals at 9-8.
I have the Cardinals at 9-8.
And I have the Seahawks at 5-12.
I have the Seahawks at 5-12.
And then last is what? The South?
Yeah.
So I have Tampa Bay at 10-7.
I have them at 12-5.
Ooh. Tom Brady, man. He's got to break at some point. Has to.
But I don't think it doesn't seem like he can.
I don't think he's invested. He's half in, half out. He retired, now he's come back.
Yeah, but I feel like Tom Brady's gonna, once he's in, he's in. He's locked in.
I would agree with that. Again, I think they go 10-7 and they win that division easily. Because I have the Saints at 6-11.
I have the Saints at 7-10.
I have the Falcons and Carolina at 4-13. That's a bad division.
I have the Panthers at 4-13 and Falcons at 6-11.
Right. So Tom Brady going 10-7 wins the division.
It's not hard for most of these divisions, like the AFC South and the NFC South. It's not hard to win those divisions because pretty much all those the teams in that division suck.
I would absolutely agree with you. The South and both the AFC and NFC are mediocre at best.
But then you have like the AFC West and like the NFC West. Those are hard divisions. Like it takes a lot to win because they are good. Pretty much all those teams are good teams. Besides, I guess, the Seahawks. Well, yeah, besides the Seahawks.
Seahawks are not going to be good this year, but you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. So, in those divisions, you could get the Bengals or the Ravens that go 10-7 and win the division. You could get the Rams or 49ers that go 10-7 and win the division. And that's a pretty good year. I mean, those teams are just going to beat up on each other.
I'm pretty sure last year the Bengals went, what? I think they went 10-7. Made it to the playoffs, went to the Super Bowl.
Which they're not going to do that again.
No, they won't. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? Yes.
Even though Joey Burrow is a Superman. And they are a better team. Yeah. But I don't. I think they'll have a hangover too. All right, that's our
NFL schedule.
Off-season hypothesis for the schedule.
Again, nothing really interesting going on in sports.
Watching the Cubs right now.
And they suck.
That's a nice way of saying it, yes.
Would you consider them hot garbage?
Oh, absolutely hot garbage.
Okay.
Flaming hot garbage.
How hot?
Like, if Baker Mayfield were the sun,
yeah,
hot garbage. They're like the closest. What's the closest planet to it? Is that Saturn? Mercury. Mercury.
Saturn is nowhere close, but sure.
Mercury. So the Cubs are the Mercury of hot garbage.
Okay. Fair. Kind of a shorter podcast episode today, but that's going to be it.
Good podcast. We'll make some, we'll do some analysis, hit the books, hit the research, and later in the summer, right before the season starts, we'll have some actual predictions.
Yes. Predictions, not hypothesis.
Not hypothesis, predictions.
That's going to be it.
All right. Have a
See
good
you.
one.